atop the Greek theater of the beautiful October morning. Then to a nice little
Good morning and welcome to the Media Speaks Live Saturday morning news show, as it is currently titled For Now. I'm D. Lake for Prez. This morning I had quite an awesome morning, gathering up 2 kittens that I gave to my coworker's sister-in-law, friend of a friend that really wanted kittens. 2 kittens delivered. Boom. I got them in the carrier. They were like, what's going on? But the handoff was made.
You sold them to an Asian restaurant, didn't you?
There was no money exchanged. It was just free kittens. So that young lady, Holly, she got 2 new kittens. It's also 6/11/2016, and it is Rihanna's birthday, and I just want to say happy birthday to her. You know, before we get started with everything. And I'm joined this morning by Sam I.B. DeGangi, Sam of the Correct Views and the band Passing Time, Samuel.
Greetings, unsettled souls. What, the singer Rihanna? Who cares? She's terrible.
No, it's a different spelling even.
Oh, okay. Well, happy birthday then.
Yeah, a good friend of mine. And yeah, the H and the I are flipped around. Anyways. Gotcha. No big deal. I think my Rihanna's actually has the correct spelling. So in addition to not being Sam's favorite singer, she spells her name weird. This morning we're going to discuss Trump apologizes. And since it's a 2-man show, I don't have my headset in right now so that I can play some audio here for you. And let me see. Right about here. Let me go to my screen share. Donald Trump is going to apologize. Everyone wanted Donald Trump to apologize this morning at a rally in Tampa, Florida. He finally apologizes. Sam, I'm just going to let this play like Fox News and then get your take on it.
Get in trouble. You know, when I use a slightly off word, slightly off, when I call this really bad senator, she's done nothing. She's done nothing. She said she's Native American. And I said,
Sam, do you know who he's talking about, and do you know what he said? Sam. Are you following along, Sam? Are you there? Did you freeze? Sammy.
Yes.
Sammy, are you following along? Do you know who he's talking about, and do you know what he's about to say?
I don't know what he's about to say. I know who he's talking about. I thought you froze.
Who's he talking about?
I thought you froze up completely. I think he's talking about that one judge, isn't he?
No, he's talking about Elizabeth Warren.
Oh, okay.
He called her Pocahontas, remember?
Oh, that's the least. They're whining about that too now.
Yeah, I think you froze up too. So let me just go back just a teeny tad. Here we go.
get in trouble. You know, when I use a slightly off word, slightly off, when I call this really bad senator, she's done nothing. She's done nothing. She said she's Native American. And I said, Pocahontas. It's Pocahontas. And somebody said to me, one of the media, Mr. Trump, would you apologize? I said, yes, I'll apologize.
Okay, here it comes. Trump is about to apologize. Finally. He finally apologizes for something he said.
To Pocahontas, I will apologize. Because Pocahontas.
Did that come through?
Yes. Didn't she lie about being Indian? Wasn't she like not even really Indian?
So listen, Trump finally apologizes. He apologizes to Pocahontas.
I wanted 2 big things in that. First of all, anything nuclear, if you can make good deals in the media, Mr. Trump, would you apologize? I said, yes, I'll apologize. To Pocahontas, I will apologize. Because Pocahontas is insulted by the state. No, I mean, this is what we're dealing with, folks. This is what we're dealing with.
Sam, this is what we are dealing with.
No, wait. I don't think he mentioned this. Didn't she lie about her heritage to begin with? To get
Well, I think that's what he's implying by calling her Pocahontas. I mean, it's kind of a diss.
But right, yeah, but well, I don't. I mean, I know what he means. He was just using a. The thing is, though, he needs to watch how he words things because there is a segment of the population that's too.
I mean,
stupid to
Pocahontas was a
understand- No,
Disney movie as well, and
No,
it's like culturally, it's saying you're a wannabe.
Well,
That's
no,
what he's saying.
I understand that. I'm concerned that there's people that just don't understand barbecue humor. And I mean, let's face it, D. Like, we live in a stupid, stupid country. So it's very likely that this could hurt him among a segment of the people who aren't Democrat, but really aren't very intelligent either. I wish he'd be.
That was a good one. Barbecue humor. That should immediately be our new website, and we should start like a comedy troupe, like the Kings of Comedy or something like that, or like those the white guys. Redneck something. We'll be the
Yeah.
barbecue comedy.
we could apologize to Pocahontas.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think.
So you're saying that. So you're saying, like my friend was saying, that Trump, if he doesn't win the presidency, might have a career in stand-up comedy.
No, I just wish he would focus on issues more. And
Well, I said that if he didn't win the presidency, he would do like he said he would, ride off into the sunset, not come back 4 years later like Mitt Romney to talk a whole gang of mess when Mitt Romney was kissing Donald Trump's butt in 2012 to get him to endorse him. Donald Trump tells the story about how the carpet at his apartment got ruined because he had so many people there to donate money to Mitt Romney, and they came in out of the rain with their muddy shoes and ruined his fabulous Trump Tower carpet. How dare them?
we're at the Trump Tower carpet. You're sure?
He said he had to get all new carpet after the Romney people were there. Then Mitt Romney does a show on Netflix,
I missed that, but that's not.
or they had a documentary about his losing candidacy, losing twice.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that. Yeah,
Mitt
that'd be awful.
Willard Mittens Romney, aka Mitt, rhymes with other words.
It does.
It.
All right, D. Like, check this out. This is unusual. Liberty Blitzkrieg. This is how you know that there are bigger things in life, listeners, than whether or not Donald Trump calls the fake Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas. For one,
Oh, good. I'm glad there's more important news. I thought that was the only thing today.
no. I laugh more at the fact that he would have to address it than the story. It's just people are focused on the most insane things. Listen, American certain companies are offering loans for living expenses to destitute employees. What this is, friends, is companies that already are paying people too little to live on are giving them loans that are just a little bit better than loan sharking check cashing places. Listen to this. Bernanke and the Federal Reserve are nothing but criminal butlers for the oligarchy. The proof is undeniable at this point. It says that 5 years after the so-called recovery, only a segment of society with access to low interest rates are very wealthy, and the financial oligarchs who leverage this cheap money to speculate on financial assets and real estate. For this, the Fed and central banking in general is completely to blame for the growing world's inequality. So listen to this. Fully employed Americans have been borrowing from payday lenders at egregious rates in order to pay for normal everyday living expenses. But a small group of executives grab as much as possible for themselves. You can see this in corporate profit margins at historically high levels and the use of cash to pay back shares as opposed to a company paying its employees an actual living wage. Well, it appears that companies are coming to the realization that their employees are so broke that they're resorting to payday lenders just to survive. But rather than boost wages, you could spend money to actually boost wages. No, D-Lake, they're spending money to loan shark their own underpaid employees. This would be like Ebenezer Scrooge giving a loan to Bob Cratchit. This is from Wall Street Journal. Pam Dimitro, the controller of JNet Communications LLC, realized employees were often turning to payday lenders or high-interest credit cards in a financial pinch. So Pam Dimitro from CNET Communications LLC, rather than pay her employees more, no. The Warren, New Jersey employee of call center workers and cable installers began offering employees a new benefit deal. Like, this is a benefit. Low interest loans, to help pay for things such as car repairs and health expenses. Worried about their financially strapped workforce, a handful of companies are stepping up to offer employees alternatives. Stepping up. That's what that's what Wall Street Journal calls stepping up. It's helping.
It's time to step up.
That's
so funny.
This idiot says that she had no interest in getting into loans, but felt the need.
Oh, dude. Oh, man. All those money trees and Dollar Tree, money tree. Money doesn't grow on trees. Those places. Look, this is a long time ago, but I was in one of those traps with the payday loans, and it's a trap because it becomes continual. You needed it like for 2 weeks, but it's like then you get your check. And then you have to pay them back. And then they're like, would you like to take out another loan? And then next thing you know, every check you get, $100 goes to the payday advance you got like 3 months ago. And you're like, dude, I'm just trying to pay this off.
Yeah, and well, the answer, isn't to pay your employees.
Especially if you get it in between jobs, which was something. Anyways, just, sometimes you need money. And you're like, well, there's this place called the Money Tree where you can go and they will loan you money based on your paycheck. And then when you get your paycheck, you have to pay them back plus,
So we live in a world.
The interest. And then you get caught up in an interest cycle because every time they're like, would you like to take another loan? Look, those places are traps. Do not get involved.
But the America as a whole is worried about whether or not Donald Trump called Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas when she was caught lying about her race to begin with.
Okay.
But no, I don't mean you. I just mean America. I'm glad you reported on it. That's not what I mean. I mean, when this is going
I reported on it because it's the top of the news media. No, it should be.
No.
What's on the cover of Touch right now?
No, I don't mean you. I mean, this is what America as a whole is focusing on. Meanwhile, they come home, their boss is ripping them off to begin with, paying them not enough to live on. And they come home and they tell their husband, oh, I'm not voting for Donald Trump because he made a joke that I don't like. However, look at this new benefit I have. I can take out loans now and owe the company where I work money. They could take it right out of my check. But they call Donald Trump crazy. They don't want to vote for Donald Trump. They don't realize that Bernie Sanders is going to create more of this. They don't realize that Hillary Clinton is definitely going to create more of this. They can't see that Trump has an economic plan that actually has a chance of working and benefiting the country so that you don't need these types of loans. They're more worried about something he says while making a joke, and it makes me insane,
Well, Trump dominating the cover of Drudge this morning, right now, as we speak. Trump full speed ahead. There's a screen grab from the video that I was just playing, which was a speech that a rally that he had this morning in Tampa, Florida. Not sure how many people he had there, But Mitt Romney was also ripping him on another program with Wolf Blitzer. I believe that's CNN. Romney rips 2016 also rans for losing. Like, he's ripping up Chris Christie and all the other people that, Jeb Bush maybe, I don't know. Marco Rubio perhaps, Paul Ryan, I don't know, he didn't run, but Trump full speed ahead. Quote, feel like I'm 35. Trump on a roll, feeling young hung and sprung and ready to get it done. Full steam ahead. Sam, what do you think? This is the cover of Drudge right now. Is Drudge responsible for some sort of conspiracy theory of conservative media versus the press? And what do you think?
I think that Trump should immediately get back to focusing on the economy. He needs to forget about this ridiculous university that is, it's not even a criminal case. He needs to focus on where he is financially correct and Hillary is wrong. He needs to talk about Obamacare. He needs to talk about Russia and dealing with Putin. He really needs to spearhead this. He needs to get away, I think, from the. I love these things about him, but he needs to get away from necessarily attacking on the basis of non-issues. At this point, even if he's going to do it his way, of course, that's what we know and love about Trump.
I mean, Mitch
he
McConnell,
needs to
Mitch
focus
McConnell
on the big ones now, the big issues.
Yeah, but Mitch McConnell and even Wolf Blitzer questioning Mitt Romney in an interview were like, oh, the script. They have to read the script. And Trump delivered a speech the other night with the use of a teleprompter. But, I mean, you could tell he was peppering it up and doing his own thing, with the teleprompters. He wasn't, he might have been going back and forth on the teleprompters, but there was a lot of him separating himself from the teleprompter for like minor impromptu, but still pretty standard Trump. I mean, yeah, it's kind of good when he hits all the right points, and that's what the evangelicals are loving, and that's what the liberty lovers are loving, and that's what the anti-Hillary crowd and the anybody but Hillary crowd that I feel like I fall in that crowd. But that's I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, no, I mean, if you're a big Hillary fan and you want to join the show right now, we welcome you. Sam, do we welcome Hillary lovers? I mean, Anne-Marie couldn't be on the show today. I'm not saying she's a Hillary lover. She said she's not a Hillary lover, but she's a woman. Why wouldn't she vote for Hillary, Sam? Why wouldn't Anne-Marie vote for Hillary? She's a woman.
Which is funny because you never hear that said about Sarah Palin or Carly. I don't like her. I don't personally like Carly, but I will say.
Yeah, no one said you have to vote for Carly because she's a woman. And Carly wanted to have a House of Cards episode where it's like woman on woman debate.
The thing is, Carly was almost as terrible as Clinton. That's the outsourcing queen. Carly was terrible.
Sam, I know you like I know you like girl on girl and woman on woman.
Oh yeah.
But does that necessarily mean you want to see like a Carly versus Hillary debate?
Well, that might cure me.
That would cure you of it? Sam would no longer be into girl on girl.
Wait, is anybody waiting for the Carly Hillary video? All right, maybe we shouldn't produce it.
All right, let's get into Bernie Sanders and what happened with him this week and Bernie Sanders' struggle. He didn't win California like he wanted to, even though he sort of came close, but not really. Didn't win New Jersey, which is kind of close to Vermont over there, and but he won like one of the Dakotas or something like that, and did pretty good in Montana, I think, and something like that. That people are like, "Oh, did Montana vote?" Oh, I didn't know, unless I live in Montana, and only like 15% of those people realized that like a vote was happening in Montana. Anyways, the last votes of the primaries and the caucuses and all that for the Democrats happens next week on Tuesday, Sam, in just Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 3 days. Will Bernie Sanders win Washington, D.C.? No, he will not. He met this week with President Barack Obama. Also, Harry Reid, who somehow gets a black eye from exercise equipment, if you all remember that. And also Vice President, not creepy at all, grabbing women, Joe Biden, who decided not to run this year, but is still waiting in the wings just in case Hillary gets indicted. Sam, I don't know if you saw this week Newt Gingrich saying that why should Bernie quit when the FBI is not ready to quit? In other words, Hillary could still be indicted. And is that a reason for Bernie Sanders to stay in the race? Let's talk about the Bernie struggle. And I think I laid it out pretty well. Sam, what are your thoughts?
The speech I saw with Bernie standing outside the White House before I went to sleep last night looked to me like a conciliatory speech. It looks to me like he's about to give up, and he's starting now to do the assimilation needed to run with Hillary. He's hoping to run with Hillary. The other thing I took away from this was the
specifically to block Donald Trump, and that was just after he met with Barack Obama and then later in the same day, Obama released his endorsement video on Thursday. He released the endorsement video for Hillary Clinton that he recorded on Tuesday. Sam.
The problem with Sanders is that everyone doesn't understand the root cause of where we're here. It was overspending that have brought America here. And Sanders wants to grossly overspend. I think the only thing he's ever talked about that I actually like was the idea of making Washington, D.C. a state. But I'd have to look into the pros and cons to that because I don't know. I think that could
Washington, D.C. a state? Yeah. I think, was it him? I thought he downplayed that. Someone just downplayed that. That's kind of wacky. Anyways.
But I mean, his financial ideas are simply a disaster. I can't imagine how anybody can possibly think that would work in a bankrupt nation like we live in now.
All right, Sam. I need just a minute. Talk us through some Bernie Sanders. Tell us more about the Bernie Sanders struggle and socialism and what comes up in Google autocomplete when you put in Bernie Sanders.
Well, I'm no good at the autofill game that we've established, so I'll avoid that. But if you want to know what Bernie Sanders is going to lead to, then look at Venezuela. They have socialism. What does socialism bring? Economic collapse. Venezuela lasted for a long time, not because they were socialist, but because they were so fortunate and astute even at oil recovery. And as soon as there was a problem in oil, the country crashed. Now oil is starting to get back on some kind of a decent footing. It's not going to be down forever. And I don't believe that it's the nightmare that everyone said oil was when it crashed. I travel a lot in the summer. I was driving yesterday quite some distance, and I can tell you gas has gone up again. But that's what happens.
Okay, Sam, listen to me. I'm Bernie Sanders over here, okay?
Bernie,
I'm going all the way. The struggle continues. The struggle continues. Our children deserve $15 an hour for their hard work, a living wage, free college tuition. The voting system is rigged. I should have won. When Anthony Court is my age, we will look like identical twins. Thank you.
I guess D-Leg's going to shave according to Bernie Sanders. See, the thing is, I wish Bernie Sanders could run instead of Hillary and then lose to Trump, because allegedly There are very good Sanders and Trump voices on this show, and it's going to be really hard to do Hillary. That's what Bill
Oh,
said.
Hillary's just shrillery. I
But
need
the,
like
the
a.
other thing I want to get to is if people, in closing, as I talk about Bernie here, if you want to talk about what does socialism bring, a look at the Denmark and some of the more socialist countries. Look where they're headed. Denmark is not doing as well as people say that they are. They've been doing continually worse. Look at the EU. They have they have socialism there. And what does socialism say? Oh, we're going to be progressive. We're going to let everybody in. Well, now Sweden's the rape capital of the world, and the Swedish are the most peaceful people ever. This is due to an influx of people that want to kill them. That's your Bernie Sanders update, friends, because that's where socialism has led as of today, as of this speaking here at 6/11, 2016.
Well, on 6/11, I just want to say that last week I was saying Bernie Sanders, like I thought he would be competitive in California. He was. I didn't say he would win, but I said that Hillary will get enough delegates to push her over the edge. But that is counting super delegates, but we kind of have to because that's the oligarchy type system that they set up. Democracy always leads to oligarchy. We are a republic in the United States. We need a Republican Congress and presidency. And it's obvious after the past 7.5 years of the Democratic president, Barack Obama, that thinks that we are a democracy, which leads to oligarchy when we are a republic. And I've documented that. And Bernie Sanders comes in, says he's a democratic socialist. It's like, look, we're not fucking Scandinavia. We're the United States of America. Get it through your head. Your time is done, Bernie Sanders. I'm sorry. I got a bunch of props and a bunch of love on a letter that I'm about to set up to read. But Sam, make your point.
I was going to ask D-Lake, the 30-second version. You do it well. Difference between a republic and a democracy.
Oh, the difference between democracy and a republic?
I've heard you do this before, yes.
Well, the republic is for the people, and okay, I was trying to message Chris Chappell, talk to you, and define democracy versus a republic. Sam, I think you know what it is. Come on.
Right,
a republic is by the laws, and a democracy is like two waiting on my wife to get ready. LOL. Okay. We are a republic as defined by the Constitution of the United States. Okay. Here it is. I found the letter that I was looking for, Sam. This is what I wanted to get to. All right. I appreciate you trying to test me there. Excuse me. Dear, I'm going to read the letter, Sam. Dear Bernie fans, welcome to the world of the Ron Paul supporters during 2012 and 2008. No matter what you do, you cannot win. The party will not allow it. You either need to leave the party or take over the party leadership. Even in New Hampshire, Bernie lost. He won the popular vote by a landslide, yet still lost in delegates. The DNC, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, and the Democratic National Committee chooses the nominee, not you. Party leadership chooses winners and losers, not you. Barack Obama will endorse this. It sucks, we know. We've been telling you how corrupt the system is for over a decade. After Bernie loses, and he will, do not vote for Hillary. Otherwise, you just perpetuate the cycle of how corrupt the DNC is. Sincerely, every Ron Paul supporter who you ignored for 8 years, who told you how corrupt the system is, including myself, Sam, a bunch of other people, and you know, remember Kyle and Court, and we all tried to tell you, we all tried to warn you, but you just didn't fucking listen.
You know what angers me about that, D-Lake, is that I know that you and I have said it on this show. I have said it on my show for the last 4 or 5 months about this being a Ron Paul similarity. And 3 or 4 months after, like I said, for sure, you and I have said it repeatedly, this letter goes viral. doesn't that just frustrate you? D? Like, we've been saying that for so long, using
Yeah.
those very words. Those very
Margaret
words.
said, you fucking nailed it. Heart sign. You just rocked it, David Lake. And I'm like, yeah, I saw this letter like last year at the start of the campaign, and I just knew it would be this way because I was a Ron Paul supporter back in the day, and I just knew it would be this way. And sorry, Bernie people, and there's a lot of Bernie people here in California. I see more Bernie signage and more Bernie stuff than Trump stuff.
Yeah.
Starting to see some Trump stuff, though. And like I said, I missed the convention 2 weeks ago, but it's all good. Speaking of conventions, and Anne-Marie wanted us to talk a little bit about this, Sam, you realize that the Bilderberg meeting is happening right now this weekend and all that, and it's in Dresden, Germany, and the military has set up a perimeter and is making sure that no reporters get anywhere even fucking close to that shit. And they're going to operate under Chatham rules, and senators like Lindsey Graham, who should be fined and imprisoned under the Logan Act for attending such a fucking meeting. They're going to go over there and talk about a bunch of shit in secret and private. And how do you feel about it?
Listeners, make sure you look up Bilderberg, Why It Mattered to Me. I attended in 2012. And the trouble, again, is that people aren't understanding the importance of the Logan Act. And they're not understanding the importance of governments not being allowed to collude without a representative of the people there. If you let that go, then you don't even have a democracy at that point. Forget the republic. You don't even have a democracy. What you have is a cross between a dictatorship and a corporate-run world, if you will. It's the absolute opposite of how things work if they're supposed to be by the people and for the people. So go ahead and look up who the people are at Bilderberg. Some of these finance ministers and some of these so-called leaders. If these leaders were so great, Europe wouldn't be overrun with a rape crisis right now. And this is all things that you get when you have central planning coming out of a place that's not answerable to the people.
Okay. Just one last thing in politics, because it seemed like, I don't know, something just happened with my internet. I don't know how that affected this video, but it looked like I got kicked out or something. I was like, oh, snap, D-Lake. I was like, oh, snap, what? Oh, shit.
It showed me a third person. Yeah, but we're good.
Yeah, okay. So I clicked on the link from the Drudge Report. Trump backers sing happy birthday to presumptive nominee. It's not quite his birthday yet. I think Trump's birthday is coming up on the 14th, maybe, of this month. But I think he's turning 70 soon. There he is, hugging the American flag. He loves America. Campaigning in the crucial battleground state of Florida, Donald Trump bashed Democrats and Republicans alike Saturday, from Hillary Clinton to former Republican presidential nominee Mitt Romney on the right. Addressing a crowd of thousands at Tampa Bay Convention Center, Trump tore into Crooked Hillary, as he calls his likely general election opponent for the State Department email controversy, and called Romney a stone-cold loser for not backing him as the presumptive Republican nominee after Trump, like I said, raised a bunch of money for him. But I think we're good on today's like political news. Sam, what'd you have in science?
I've got one of the most interesting stories. I have no idea why this doctor is getting so much grief, because if this goes badly, you would almost say the patient would be better off dead anyway. Listen to this, independent.co.uk. Science or science fiction? How an Italian doctor hopes to perform the first human head transplant. It would be a 36-hour, $14 million euro procedure involving 150 people, doctors, nurses, technicians, psychologists, and virtual reality engineers. Now, this isn't something that the doctor's doing just for the hell of it on a perfectly healthy individual. This is something that people that are stranded like this poor patient it's their only hope. One autumn day in 19...
Is it this Russian guy?
Let me see your screen. Yes, listen to this. On autumn day in 1974, that's him, when he was 9, Sergio Canavero visited his regular newsstand to buy a bustling street in Turin, Italy, to buy a comic book. As a bullied schoolboy, the man who now claims he can complete the first human head transplant was dismally aware of his pitiable social status, cookie cutter nerd, and he sought a fictional escape. Well, on that fateful day, it says, he bought issue 51 of the Marvel team up, D-Lake would know this, in which Doctor Strange boasts to Spider-Man and Iron Man that I myself have surgically rejoined severed neurolinkages, the nerve endings that were been fused in the healing process.
Well, if Doctor Strange from the Marvel comic book universe can do it and tell Spider-Man and Iron Man all about it, then I'm sure it is totally possible in real life.
Believe it or not, that looks like what they're doing. He claims that he's going to be able to do this. He wants that they lay out a plan of how this is done here.
Mm-hmm.
In a specifically equipped hospital suite, 2 surgical teams will work simultaneously. One focused on Spindranov and the other on the donor's body, selected from the brain-dead patient and matched with the Russian for height, built, and immunotype. Both patients, anesthetized and outfitted with breathing tubes, will have their heads locked using metal pins and clamps, and electrodes will be attached to their bodies to monitor brain and heart activity. Next, Spiridonov's head will be nearly frozen, ultimately reaching 12 to 15 degrees Celsius, which will make him temporarily brain dead. Doctors will then drain his brain of blood, it says, and flush it with a standard surgery solution. A vascular surgeon will loop sleeve-like tubes made of salicylic, which is silicystic. It's a silicon plastic combination around the carotid arteries and jugular veins. These tubes will be tightened to stop blood flow and later loosened to allow circulation when the head and body are connected. Then let's go one more part. The 2 teams working in concert will make deep incisions into each person's neck and use color-coded markings to note all of the muscles in both Spindle's head and that of the donor to facilitate the reconnection. And then the last stop is under an operating microscope. Doctors will cleanly chop through the spinal cord. They have a 200,000 diamond saw that is so thin it is measured in angstroms, and line up the arteries, and off you go. I mean,
is the new head and the new brain going to be able to control the new body? And my question is, so it's intended for this Russian here in a wheelchair that looks like he has, I mean, I don't want to be cruel or in any way. I'm just talking about what I'm looking at. Looks like he has a normal head and kind of a really messed up body. So is he going to be this head that actually looks kind of like a movie star guy, this head, and then put it on like a Ryan Gosling type body, and then he'll be a movie star? I mean, is that what we're going for here? Putting this guy's pretty much normal head on a body that's more suited for his head?
Which is going to be one of the most important developments ever. This is going to be extremely important. This 31-year-old is a Russian programmer in software development field. He suffers from Wiedning-Hoffman's disease. It's a muscle wasting disorder. His body is crashing around him, and they're saying that this other doctor is attacking the scientist and doctor that wants to do this. This is ridiculous. This doctor needs to be heralded as a hero.
I mean, he's trying to do something here. I mean, his name is not Frankenstein. His name is something else.
But God.
What's the doctor's name again, Sam?
I just shut the window down, but it's Spirinov, I believe.
Let me see. Visit page.
Oh,
Yeah,
no, wait, the doctor would be Cascanova.
the doctor is Sergio. Yeah, Canano or something like that. Oh, a Dockers commercial. Thank you, internet. Sam, sorry.
You get your doctors.
I'm getting all stuff kind of playing in my headset. I keep clicking on his picture. Where's his name? Yeah. Canavero, Sam.
He is going to be, I think he needs to be heralded as like the future for
Well,
thousands of people that have these
Sam, I'm holding out until the operation is a success, don't you think? Oh, look, just what I said, Dr. Frankenstein.
But I think he's going the brain that wouldn't. That's such a great campy movie. The brain that wouldn't die. That is such a good movie.
Yeah.
It's like campy and creepy and cool.
Yeah. Did you have another science story today, Sam, or do you want to segue? Was that a brilliant segue into entertainment?
Oh, let's do entertainment. Now I'll give you 2 science next week, everyone. I promise.
Okay, great. Excellent, Sam. Where's my sound effects for that? It's all good. Anyways, here we go. Sam Science, everybody. Leave your comments below if you would ever consider a head transplant. I mean, wouldn't that make sex change a lot easier just to put Bruce Jenner's head on just a totally complete female body? But I mean, this scientist is trying to match up genetics and DNA and body type to head type and find the right corpse at the right time or something like that, right? I mean, does it have to be a corpse, or can someone decide that they wish to be decapitated to donate the rest of their body to science to make this head transplant happen? Would someone be willing to do that, do you think?
I think there are people that would want to do it when they didn't need it, just because people abuse most of advances.
And what happens if the mind of a psychopathic killer goes into the body of a deranged maniac? Have you ever seen that movie Body Parts, Sam? Speaking of entertainment, have you ever seen Body Parts with Jeff Faley or something like that? The guy that was Lawnmower Man, and he's in that Body Parts movie, or is he the guy that's in it? And I think the other guy from like RoboCop, the second RoboCop, the creepy guy.
Really?
I think they're both in that movie Body Parts. It's really good. And it's an old school, like 80s horror classic about a guy who loses his arm, but then his arm is replaced by the arm of a serial killer. But then the serial killer is just like a head or something, but he wants to get all his body parts back or something. Have you ever seen that movie, Sam?
If I have, it was something my dad and I watched, probably when it was still new. It's real fuzzy, but I
back in the 80s, yeah. Yeah, it sounds like a VHS tape, right? It's all still a little bit channel fuzz.
Yeah, I wanna.
Yeah, but the memory's there somewhere. I know you've seen it. You've seen it. Everyone's.
I'm gonna get it again now. I have to.
Yeah, me too. I don't have that in my collection, but I remember that one. It's a good one. Have you seen anything recently? Actually,
I had a report that I wanted to do last week, and I had forgotten. 2 weeks ago, I got to go to Rock on the Range, which is one of the biggest concerts in the United States. And real quickly, I can give you a rundown of what I thought of the bands. Seven Snakes was an amazing new band to have discovered. Butcher Babies did amazing. Megadeth, which we're gonna get.
Butcher Babies, Sam. Butcher Babies. That sounds like a weird name.
They were explosive. If you get a chance to look them up, they were explosive.
Okay.
Very heavy. The Sword and this was interesting. That was a new band I'd run into. Struts did well. I can't. If you like Trivium, I've never been able to get into Trivium much. The people that, if you do, you were probably very pleased.
The metal or the name of the metal band?
The band, yes. Trivium.
I like
Oh,
Tritium, but I don't know if I like the band Tritium.
my wife is a huge Chili Peppers fan. They did well, as did Disturbed and Shinedown. Even though I'm not a huge fan of either of the two,
Mm-hmm.
Disturbed was solid. I must.
What
say,
about
though,
Five Finger Death Punch? How are they?
they
Good
were
stuff.
actually on the day that I didn't go. I only had tickets
Oh,
for the 3 days. I
Okay.
do want to say one thing though. The best punk rock show I've ever seen was Anti-Flag. Pennywise was there too, but they were a bit muddy. Anti-Flag brought it.
Anti-Flag. Yeah, I've heard of them.
As did Bring the Horizon. Letdowns were like Death from Above. I really could do without A Day to Remember. I did not find them memorable. Bullet for My Valentine let me down. They were really whiny and just.
Meow meow meow. That sounds like a. I don't even like their name. Like,
Asking Alexandria was really whiny. And I will
what
say,
about Parkway Drive? Doesn't sound very memorable, even though that's in my local area.
they're kind of emo-like, but they weren't on the.
Okay, there's Trivium. Is it Tritium or Trivium? Whatever. They're lame.
Trivium.
Between the buried and me. What about them?
Different night. I do want to say that if you don't like Bring the Horizon CD, make sure you see them live. They're much better live. They're less of that emo nosy singing. And I have to get to.
I don't see any rappers on here. Was this rap? Was this a rap free concert?
It was pretty much rap free. I think Machine Gun Kelly was there. I purposefully missed it. The death of music. The stand, one of the standout bands, and they should have been given a main stage slot. I think they should have been probably given maybe Shinedown's slot or maybe the Deftones slot.
Mm-hmm.
Deftones were okay, but much better were Megadeth. They were astounding. Their new stuff is as good as their old stuff. Threat is Real, Dystopia was amazing, and that does bring us in.
Well, just real quick, I just want to say that I've seen like PE, Public Enemy, Wu-Tang Clan, I've seen a bunch of music rap concerts, LL Cool J, NWA, Ice-T back in the day, stuff like that. Too Short was like probably the best because he was just like smoking a blunt, drinking a 40, and just like holding the mic out and letting the crowd just do the whole concert for him. He's like, cuss words, let them roll. Boom. So that was pretty awesome, Sam. So I know, modern day rap nowadays, like I'm probably more on board with you. Like, what the fuck is this shit? But, it sounds like you really liked that concert. It was a rock concert and sounds excellent. Sorry, I missed it.
It's a segue, D-Lake, unfortunately. Former Megadeth drummer Nick Menza, official cause of death revealed. Those of you that don't know, Menza was the drummer on the Rust in Peace album, along with many other ones.
I'm sorry, Megadeth drummer
Nick Menza. He's not the drummer that's with them now, of course. They're on tour with the Suicidal Tendencies right now, who just got Slayer's drummer. Yes, that's true, friends. As I side myself here, Suicidal Tendencies have Dave Lombardo from Slayer as their drummer, so that's going to be interesting. But Nick Menza's cause of death was cardiovascular disease, the LA County Department medical examiner said. So he did not. He didn't. He died of natural causes. He collapsed after suffering a heart attack during the third song of OHM set. That was his other band on May 21st at the Baker.
Did he have a will? Did he have a will, or was he like Prince?
I don't. I know Dave Mustaine did a benefit for him when he died. California. It was in the Baked Potato. Where's that at, D-Lake? In Studio City, California. He was pronounced dead at the hospital. He was only 51. The cause of death was listed as hypertensive and arterials. I think it's atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease. He had dabbled in drugs earlier in his career, but he'd been sober for 8 years. He didn't die of a drug overdose. It appeared that
but I mean,
it looked like he had a seizure, but he stopped breathing. And I get a Megadeth within the last 10 or 15 years, since Dave Mustaine has become a Christian, they don't even smoke weed anymore.
no, I know, but the music killed him. You know how hard it is to keep up with that Megadeth drumming?
Oh,
The time,
and he was
just the drumming probably killed him.
And he was the innovator of a lot of that double bass, a lot of not just ticka 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 ticka, but that where you're hearing about boom ticka ticka where it's real fast.
Yeah. You know how hard it is to keep that going, like all the time.
Menza joined OHM when their other drummer suffered a heart attack. So let me tell you something. If OHM needs a drummer, it looks like you're going to die of a heart attack. That's 2 for 2. I'd be terrified to be their new drummer.
Now, Sam, I mean, I don't want to promote machine drumming because I know how much you hate that. I mean,
no, I do like it. I don't mind that. I don't mind that. I just like it to be programmed and not lifted off logic.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. Like, yeah, I mean, if you program your own style of drumming, but I mean, dude, I'm telling you to keep. I've tried drumming. Like, I can't do it. I mean, like, I'm pretty ambidextrous with my hands, but drumming is both hands, both feet, and just like he's doing that all the fucking time. I mean, dude, that's a lot of work.
Well, you know what, like if you're ambidextrous with your hands, you might not be able to play drums, but girls will probably like it if you play the organ.
Thanks. I'm an Aquarius, though. They say Aquarius Pisces, I'm right on the cusp. Thank you. I'm one of the 13th warriors on the cusp. But they say it's all about my feet.
13th warriors. I don't get it.
Whatever. The 13th warriors?
I'm like Aquarian Capricorn.
You're on the cusp as well, so you're a 13th warrior as well.
What's that?
Because when all the astrological signs break up into their separate warrior clans, you'll have the Aquarius over here, Sagittarius over here, Cancer over here, Virgo over there, the Leos, the other ones, and the Pisces, Aquarius, and this and that, and da-da-da. But, like, those people that are born on the cusp of the date where it's like they're right they're sort of on that date where you can go either way. So you sort of have two. The people that are on the cusp are the 13th warriors. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh.
God told me that in a dream. He said it's coming. He said forget color of skin or national orientation or anything. It's all based on the day that you were born. That's the real separation.
What's funny is I've always believed that there is something to that, but I don't believe it's based on stars or planets or anything such as that. That's never made any sense.
You know what's really trippy, and we're in entertainment, so we can just speak freely, but you know what's really trippy is like going back to like the Mayans and the Greeks and the this and that, and like they were looking at the stars and they had all the astrology and all the constellations and all the sort of scope of how things moved in the universe, and like, is the world flat or round, and are we moving around the sun? Like, all that stuff has been figured out like over such an immense period of time. And here we are just living in this world within the space of our lifespans, where by the time I was born, we already landed on the moon, and like we knew about the Earth rotated around the sun, and that the Earth is round. I mean, look, if you want to debate me on whether the Earth is round or we rotate around the sun, fine, fucking, I'll debate you. I mean, I don't know how that's debatable still, but there's newer stuff that's like, we can see really far out in the universe. And these are the type of things that Sam covers every week in Science News, which is why our show is so awesome and amazing. But like, is Pluto a planet? There seems to be another planet beyond that. Then we have this planet X, that moves around in its own. That seems to move around in its own, rotation. And it's like, well, what's up with this fucker? And if it, what about asteroids and shit?
It is interesting that they never show you anything other than artist renderings of the discoveries. That is something.
Yeah, I mean, thanks NASA for the computer generated model.
Yeah,
show us some real stuff, some real pics, and like Will Ferrara and like people that study that. Wait, it looks like there's water on fucking Mars.
That's where the flat people come from. Is the
flat Earth people?
Yeah.
I have flat earthers on my Facebook. I'm like, are you guys serious, or is this just trolling?
Well,
I can't tell.
The thing is the way they there's more than one ways to arrange numbers, and the way that they have the sun and the moon set up, being so small, would also be mathematically correct. It's the only way that could be. But again, a lot of it's just rooted in the fact that NASA is so very bad about giving real pictures and real data. What about the Gregorian calendar, Sam? According to the Gregorians, today is June 11th, Brandon's birthday, and but like, what does that mean? What do you mean?
I'm saying it's a man-made construction, our concept of time right now. It's like 12 hours later in Australia or something. Like, we have time zones. Like, for me right now, Sam, it's 11:58. What time is it there?
It is 2:58.
So boom. We have time zones. We have a calendar. We have a date system. But everyone puts their faith in that. Why isn't that a religion? Why isn't today's date and time a religion? Or it is. And if you were born on this date, then that means X. How many websites could I go to right now that says, if today is your birthday, here's what it means?
Well, I don't know that it would. For some people, it would be a religion.
If today's your birthday, you're like a double Gemini.
You should go to Cedar Point and ride the Gemini.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm going to have to go online and check out the sexual compatibility with my birth date and those born on this date.
Uh-oh. You guys are friends like that, huh? My. Well, deal.
Oh. Well, what about when you meet someone new and they're like, "This is my birth," you're like, "What's your sign, baby?"
Stop. Oh God. Yeah.
Is that your opening line, Sam?
Well, what's your sign? Stop.
What's your sign? Stop. Oh, stop sign. Oh, I get it. That took me a minute. Stop. Hammer time. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. Oh, Sam, I think it's been a great show. What do you think? Have you seen anything else like super recent in entertainment that we could talk about real quick? What do you think?
Well, I'm finally caught up on The Walking Dead. I hadn't watched it at all and started watching it like 2 or 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Because I
never really got
True Blood, man. True Blood sucked.
True Blood? Is True Blood still going?
Oh, I don't know. I watched the first couple seasons and it got stupid and I quit watching it. It got
No, I watched season maybe 1, 2, 3, and then like I was like, yeah, what's going on here? And like, yeah. I'm cool with vampires. Let's just tell a vampire story. Cool. Okay. One guy's a shapeshifter. Kind of cool with that.
Fair.
Maybe there's some werewolves. Not so bad.
Everybody's gay.
Then there's a Maenad. Then there's fairies. Then there's fucking this and that. I'm like, okay, I'm done. Look.
Stupid. It got so dumb.
I'm good with, yeah. I'm good to You know what I'm saying. I agree. I think we agree on that. And I had the download for
The Mainic was the last character I liked.
yeah. I had the download for the bootleg of Warcraft, and I watched just a little part of it, and the bootleg looked pretty clean, but I forgot to bring the USB home. I left it at the download arena, and so I'll watch it on Monday. But it looks pretty tight, and maybe I'll just go to the theater and see it in IMAX. Probably not, but it looks fucking dope, which would be good for Hollywood, and it would be good for video game movies. And supposedly Assassin's Creed is coming out soon. And so if Warcraft does well, that's good for Assassin's Creed. And it's good for video games in general because superhero movies are doing so well right now that video game movies need sort of like that like string of like hits.
Well, they ruined Alone in the Dark. That should have been a good one, and they ruined it years ago.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about all the video game movies that were good attempts, but not all the way there. Hopefully Warcraft is that one, and hopefully Assassin's Creed is as well. Not really games that I played. I haven't played games for a long time, but I do appreciate a good video game, I guess, and I don't know. My kids come and visit. I might need to get an Xbox or something before they get here, or a PlayStation or something like that. All right. Sam, how did you feel about today's show? Good? Did you cover everything you wanted to? Anything else you want to get out there?
I think we nailed it. I think we knocked it right out of the park.
I'm trying to think real quick. I mentioned the kittens, right, at the beginning of the show? Yeah, I did. My kittens.
The driver.
Do you like? I live on a cat farm, like a cat ranch, and so I have kittens. And I waited 3 months for the mom to rear them up, for them to be properly weaned and all that. I thought they were ready. I scooped them up while they were trying to eat food this morning, put them in the carrier, gave them to my friend to give to her friend. And I got a text message earlier that it seems like it's all working out. She had her place all set up, really nice for new kittens to get there. Look, everyone should love their pets, except in fucking Canada, Sam.
Well,
did you hear about Canada?
Yes, I have. I actually have the story ready for one of the dunce dummy of the day stories. Yes.
Do you want to? We have a few viewers right now, Sam. Do you want to just give away the premise of? You obviously know what I'm talking about. Do you just want to be the one to say it instead of me? Go ahead.
All right. I'll go ahead and do it. I do want to say, make sure you go to ooze.com and they teach you how to cook a cat. All right.
Oh, okay.
All right, guys. We're going to get to
filet, barbecue. I could cook a cat. Look, I know how to cook a cat because why do you think I have all these cats? If it comes down to a survival nuclear situation, these cats are toast.
Go ahead, type in ooze.com, how to cook a cat. Yes, it's true, friends. Canada legalizes oral sex with pets. Canada's Supreme Court has legalized oral sex with pets as long as no penetration is involved. And it's a ruling slam by Canada.
Okay, wait, so basically what you're saying is eating's not cheating.
Eating is perfectly legal and not the kind of eating that I was referring to a moment ago.
Pet oral, peanut butter, pet oil oral oil is good, but as long as there's no pee, no penetration.
This is like the Bill Clinton approach to sex with animals.
Thank you, Canada. Thank you, Canada. Good job, Canada.
The court ruled 7-1 in favor of a.
I know, I saw that. 7-1.
He was convicted of 13 counts of sexually assaulting his stepdaughters by smearing peanut butter on the genitals of his victims and had the family dog lick it off while he videotaped the act. And I think that
Now that story doesn't resolve that part of it.
No,
I mean,
but here's my question: Do you like? Did they let him off of the 13 counts then? Because
no.
Listen. It says although bestiality was often subsumed in terms such as sodomy or buggery, penetration was the essence of the defining act of the offense. The court ruled there is no hint in any parliamentary record that the substantive change to the element to offense.
Now, I
bestiality
thought the definition of sodomy sort of included oral.
No, but still, it
I
says
thought it kind of did.
they had only one dissenter. That was Justice Rosalie Abdel.
1 out of 7? Come on, 3 out of 5 fucking dentists, 4 out of 5 dentists don't want cavities, but only one person stands up to say that oral with a pet is wrong? Jesus crying out
It
Christ.
looks like the court let the man off the. I don't think he got convicted for using his daughters as a deer lick for a dog.
But he had to get convicted under some other statute of child abuse, right? I mean, like, okay, maybe the dog and the peanut butter part didn't get him, but something else had to get him, right? I mean, he did more than just peanut butter with the dog, didn't he? I mean, he restrained the girls, so I mean, we can get him on that. I mean,
someone, I don't think they did. Someone left a comment and wrote something so clever. It said, meanwhile, the dog waltzes off scot-free.
I know. Where I first saw the story, they had a picture of like I don't know what kind of dog it was.
That would probably enjoy
something. I'm like, that dog has beautiful eyes.
It's legal in Canada now.
She wants to legalize peanut butter dog licking.
No, she's not happy about it. Right.
She's going to restrain you and make the dog lick the peanut butter off your penis.
It's legal to have oral sex with dogs now. You can put peanut butter on, and it's legal. She walked in and she's like, "What is this show about now?" Because I have headphones on.
Oh yeah, she's like, "So when are we moving to Canada?"
Yes. She wants to know when we're moving to Canada. Yes.
Oh God. No, that's hilarious.
I'm dead.
Look, well, Sam. I mean, just so you're aware, still no penetration is allowed with the animals.
Yeah, no penetration. That's considered bestiality in Canada.
Yeah, that's bestiality. But if you have a little peanut butter and you just want,
all right, okay, babe, I'll make sure she's female for you.
I don't want to be some kind of a freak. She's right. Make sure that the animal is of the opposite sex. You don't want to be some kind of weirdo after that.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Oh good Lord! All right, deal. Like you brought us into oral sex with animals, so you're gonna have to.
Well, the only thing worse than bestiality is homosexual bestiality.
Yes. Well, the ancient people in the Middle East invented safe sex by using the intestine of a lamb, and years later us in the West modified that, by removing the lamb.
Yeah, no, I've heard of lambskin condoms. Is that what you're talking about?
It was a joke. Get it? Think about it. In ancient times, the Arabs created lambskin condoms. 2,000 years later, the West modified it by getting rid of the lamb. It'll come to you later. So. I hit something on my screen, and now all I can see is the M when you talk. Like, I can't see you.
Oh. I can see me. Well, hopefully the video comes out good. Everyone, thank you for joining us today on such a great show. We talked about a lot of stuff, covered the course of a lot of politics, got into some amazing science, talking about head transplants and stuff like that. Sam and I always bringing insane entertainment, including, new laws passed in Canada, stuff like that. So great show. Can't wait to go back and watch it again later this week. And everyone, Be sure to tune in next week for a much better show. It always gets better and better. Ideally, next week we'll have Anne-Marie back on the show. You can find her on this channel, The Media Speaks, on YouTube.
Yep.
You can find The Correct Views. Is that right, Sam?
YouTube.com/thecorrectviews. You can also get a hold of me at thecorrectviews@hotmail.com. I also opened up a Patreon account, so you can support the show that way and can help it continue to get better and more frequent. Good night.
Oh, what's that called again, Sam?
Patreon.
Patreon. Okay.
Let me see if I can go to a screen share of it really quick. It's
Yeah, let's take a look at that.
It's useful for people that have that do the kind of things we do here. We should probably open up one for the Media Speaks as well. Here we go. Where is it? You're gonna have to do it. I don't think I can do it. I think it has to be done by you because you're the host. Patreon.
Okay, I'm sorry. PATREON.
And look up The Correct Views. And I won't be able to see it because I hit some crazy thing on here. I did something with Showcase and now I can't show it.
Sam Ganji, I see you. Oh, raising the money. Sam E. DeGanji is creating political social commentary videos. And there's one of his videos. You have a goal of 2K. Let's make it happen. All right, everyone, go there and donate. And, yeah, I'm just going to ride Sam's coattails all the way to greatness. Thank you, everyone, for joining us again. And, Sam?
Pour juice on your chin.